All right, welcome viewers. I want to thank you for coming back. Today we have, in pre-calculus, we have two trig identity problems. It does say prove the following, so we're verifying these identities, and they're tricky. They're fraction problems. So I want to show you another article of clothing from the thrift shop. This is absolutely amazing. Yes, it does have another kid's name and number on it, but like who who buys clothing with other kids' names on it but me? Nobody. Anyway, I mean, like, I could have a kid named Ryan that's number 3 that plays volleyball. Nobody knows, right? This is a really good brand. Okay, so we are going to start problem number 1. So when we try these problems, okay, we never know what's the best way to start, and that just comes with practice. So we're just gonna try something, and if it doesn't work, then we're just gonna erase everything and try something else. So, and if we choose like a more difficult way to do the problem, that's fine. It just will take us longer to get there. Okay, so I'm gonna choose to change tangent to sine over cosine, and then cotangent to cosine over sine. I'm just gonna choose. And since I'm starting, we're at problem 16, and I'm gonna attach this worksheet. Since I am starting on the left, my equal sign needs to go on the right, because we are only gonna work on one side. We're going to work on one side and then show that that side matches the other side. So we've got 1 plus sine of x over cosine of x over, I'm going to run out of room, it's fine. 1 plus cosine of x over sine of x. And the equal sign goes on the right. Okay, so now I've got two fractions with different denominators. One in the numerator, one in the denominator. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to multiply through the numerator and the denominator by sine cosine. That way we will get rid of the denominator in the fraction in the numerator, and we will also get rid of the fraction denominator in the denominator. So if I do that, just to save space, this 1 will become sine cosine, multiplying by special, you know what? I'm gonna write it out. I'll write it to the right, or to the left over here. I'm multiplying by, okay, so that's what I'm doing. So this 1 becomes a sine cosine. And then we'll end up with a sine squared times a cosine. And then our denominator will end up canceling with that cosine. Crazy?
Is that a fraction that you multiply with that? The sine?
Yes, this is special 1. I kind of ran out of room, but it's the numerator sine over cosine, and the denominator is also sine over cosine. So we're just multiplying by 1, so we're not changing the value of that expression. Okay. Okay, so I've got sine times cosine squared, right? And the denominator is sine of x. So those signs will cancel. All right, let's see what we have left. Go, got my equal sign. Different color. Black. Okay, so in the numerator, we have a sine, cosine, plus sine squared. So I'm going to factor out, because those are two terms, I'm going to factor out a sine of x out of each of those terms. And then in the denominator, we have sine cosine plus a cosine squared. And in the denominator, I'm going to factor out a cosine out of each of those two terms. So the numerator will have the sine of x times, let's see what's left, cosine plus sine. And then the denominator will have cosine of x, and we've got a sine left, plus cosine. This is the reason why in middle school, I used to teach middle school, fractions and stuff, and kids would always say, why can't we just use a calculator to add these fractions? This is the reason. Because if you cannot add fractions and work with fractions with numbers, then you can't do it with variables, and you can't do it with trig and pre-calc. Okay, so this is a number times another number inside this parentheses. This is a number times another number inside this parentheses. So we can cancel what's inside the parentheses, the entire parentheses. We can't cancel part of a number, like if two numbers are separated by a plus sign. I see this all the time, okay? Don't do this. If it was like a trinomial in the numerator, and then a trinomial in the denominator, something like that, they just cancel the x squared. You can't do that, because this is part of a number. There is a parentheses around that entire thing that makes that completely one number. There is a parentheses, however, around this sine plus cosine, as well as this one. So we can cancel those numbers together. So boom. Now we just have sine cosine, which is tangent. And pretty sure that's the other side that we're looking for.
It is.
Verified. Boom. All right, I think my video is long enough. We good? Questions? Okay, make sure you subscribe so you get to hear me sing Mariah Carey's All the Way for Christmas on December 17th, last day of school before break, right? Want to say goodbye to America? Okay, all right. Thanks for watching my closet tour. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, I have more, by the way. I found additional articles of clothing after I stopped recording, so maybe I should make a part 2. Okay, bye.